Like
Then I was like,
that's
is
what
it
made the list kind of
the
difficult.
but it was some good stuff on here though. From like my childhood, I saw like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
All right, y'all. We are back. Welcome back. It's the boy Trigger Troy, the man of horror, and my co-host, Bree the Scream Queen.
Okay.
Hey, all right, all right. I love it. So we decided this week we would do two things. I mean, we've been doing that so far, but specifically, there was a movie that came out last week, and we just kind of had to talk about it because everybody's been talking about it.
Everybody's talking about it.
Everybody, it's one of those.
What's funny,
You either love it or you hate it.
what's funny, before you even told me that that was the movie we were going to do for this review, I was already going to watch it because somebody
Mhm.
else had said something about it. I was like, oh yeah. Oh my goodness, my voice is gone from screaming at the game last night. It's like coming and going. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this. And he was like, yeah, we're gonna do this. I'm like, okay. And then when I watched it, oh my, I can't wait to review it.
Yes. And if you haven't figured it out yet, The Deliverance.
Okay.
But first, before we do that, we wanted to do a list, this week's list, which is top 5 black horror films. We ain't got too many. We got a nice amount, but we still building up, you know. But there's still a few out there that I think are worthy of mentioning, right?
I do.
Um, right. So I mean, yeah, we can go ahead and we'll do the list first, and then we will do our review.
Boom.
Um, and if I guess you want to go ahead and start it off with your fifth
Yes.
place, you can do that.
So mine was like a tie for my fifth place. It was between Bones and Blackula.
Uh-huh.
I saw it as a kid. And I just thought it was like so funny. Like, but that Blackula was not scary to me at all as a kid. But
Not at all. Not at
it was
all.
very funny because the Black Prince getting turned into a vampire. Like, what is going on? What is going on here?
I,
Uh,
it, yeah, yeah.
it's definitely one of my favorite. Like, it's kind of up there with like my Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's up there with
I
that
can
one.
see that same kind of cheesy kind of
Uh huh.
feel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you ever see the sequel, Scream, Blackula Scream?
No, it's a sequel.
Oh my God, yes, it is.
Because I haven't seen
Pam,
Blackula
Pam
since I
Grier
was
is
a
in that one.
child. Stop it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
see,
go
Pam
Google it.
Grier is in that
I'm gonna
one.
have to watch it.
Scream, Blackula Scream. She's in that, and it's just as cheesy. I like it a
I'll
little
have
bit
to
better than
watch
the
it.
first one, but yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
So for that one, my fifth place is actually Bones.
That is so funny.
Um, yeah, yeah, funny as hell. As soon as you said, it, I was like, aha. Um, I love Bones because I mean, one the nostalgia of it, right? Like you
Mm,
just recall being a kid, the shit coming on BT and all that. Like when
okay.
we had like our horror movies days, like when they first started really like doing shit like that on like BT and channels like that. Because then it was like the Snoop Dogg Hood of Horror movie as well. Like it was
Mm,
just little random horror shit they would do sometimes. And Bones was always my favorite as soon as it came on, and it was like rewatching it now. I'm like, damn, this scared me, but that shit scared me as a kid. Like
look, Snoop
Bones
Dogg used to
actually,
be
and
scary as fuck to me as a child. He was
listen,
always like this gangster, like gun tote man, like you know what I'm saying, like from back in the day when he
yeah.
was with NWA and shit. So I'm like, this nigga scary.
And I think for me, which will always be part of the reason why it scared me, is because my dad favored Snoop Dogg,
Got you.
and I don't. It was especially when he was mad. He looked like him, and I just was like, "Oh my God, I live with Jimmy Bones. I can't. Like, I can't. I can't. I need to go somewhere. I'm so scared right now. Like my dad used to look like that was his
That is
fucking
so
brother or
funny.
something, and so it just used to trip me the fuck out.
That's
um.
funny.
Okay, fourth place.
Tales from the Hood.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Mine's is a
Like,
bit high. Out. Yeah. Go ahead.
but that like how do you not love Tales from the Hood? You know what I'm saying? Like again, the
Yeah.
nostalgia from us our kid. That again, I was a kid, sheltered halfway, but like,
Yeah.
what are y'all getting yourselves into? What is happening? I was scared the crap out of me as a child.
It's yeah. See, okay. I'm gonna because that is higher on my list. I'm gonna move it down, and I'm gonna say the same thing for fourth place.
Okay.
Tales from the Hood used to the ending of that movie. where first off, Clarence, I always forget it. It's either Clarence Williams or Clarence Thomas. The mortuary or
Mm-hmm. He's
mortician or however.
scary. He plays
He
his
played the
roles. He's
he
in.
played
He's
the
in.
fuck out of that. The sweat just I mean, and then when he turns into the devil at the end, I literally couldn't watch that for years. I didn't watch it again from a kid. I didn't watch the ending. Like I would watch the movie up until the end and just turn it off. I couldn't watch that ending until I was in college. Maybe a little bit after. Like I literally just because it just was like, oh my god,
He
this
just
is
he played
terrifying.
he played that so well. Like, he's a wonderful.
Yeah, and I love the stories of Tales from the Hood too, because like just the idea is, I mean, you know, unfortunately, a lot of it is shit that happened in a fucking
the
hood. You
hood
know what I'm saying? Like even with the abuse one, because I feel like unfortunately that's common for Black people, like
too often. Yeah,
too fucking often. So it was just like that story, the Black man becoming a cop and getting treated like fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it just played into a lot of, especially for that time, a lot
a
of
lot of negative
us
stereotypes
and the
Black
negative. Yeah,
people. Yeah,
I loved it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Third place.
The Blackening.
We are right here. That's crazy. Yeah.
Love The Blackening. I
Yeah.
did like that they killed a couple people, but
But none of
it
the
was
niggas
it was.
died. Loved it.
Well, the two
Loved
at the
it.
beginning of the movie died, but that was it. Those are the only. But also,
yeah.
there are no other people in the movie to die but Black people. So the fact that the
Right.
majority of them made it, and at the end when they like, do we call the police? Nah, we gonna call now. We gonna call the fire department, and just for them to get the hose put on them had me howling. It was well done because it had me jumping. It wasn't scary, but it was like, oh shit. Like,
yeah,
damn.
yeah. It was. I think it was a perfect parody of Black people in a horror movie. Like how I felt like, and I, you know, obviously this is my third place too. I felt like I knew them. Like I felt like
these are like our family, our friends.
Yeah, like I was just in that shit. Like, dog, no, this nigga did. Like, I was literally responding to so much shit. Like, okay, bro. Like, I felt like I knew them, and I felt like I could have been in the shit. Like, cause
we could have been right there with them.
Yeah. Okay, second place.
Get Out. Jordan
Okay.
Peele did his thing with Get Out. I know it's not like a Black as far as the cast for real, but Jordan Peele. That was excellent. Like,
okay. See, I'm gonna have to switch mine around. I'm looking like, let me make sure. But I'm gonna do my second place is The First Purge. The one where like they did the experiment in a fucking like Bronx or some shit like that. It was mostly, you know, Black people. However, because I mean, I think it's the best purge. First off, out of all of them.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. The first one,
Yeah.
The story.
And it reminded me of the reality. Like I feel like that's what the fuck they would actually do. They'd pick a hood and be like, okay, let's experiment here. That's exactly what they would do.
That's what Reagan did with the drugs. Like they do it to our communities first.
Hey, let's start it here. Anywhere else.
Tuskegee Airman experiment. Like, come on. They be you not wrong.
And so it was just like I think out of all of the Purge movies, that was the most believable. And it was just nice to see, I mean, you know, Black people survive. Like I love the fact that the neighborhood drug dealer, the neighborhood like fucking, you know, Scarface turned out to be like the hero of like, this is my hood. Like y'all not gonna come and fuck my shit up.
Nah.
So yeah, I love that about that one. Okay. Oh, but you know what? I missed something. Damn. Okay, we can do first place now. But I've totally missed something, but it's okay. I'm just gonna throw.
That'll be your honorable mention or something.
Okay. Let's do that. Yeah.
So my number one is the original Candyman. I did not like the remake or the sequel, prequel, whatever the fuck that was supposed
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be. Didn't like it. But the original scared
yeah.
the living shit out of me as a child. Don't come around saying no, don't turn off no. That was up there with Bloody Mary and shit. Get your ass on. I ain't playing with you.
Yeah, yeah.
That the bees covering his face, like
Oh, all right, his
it
mouth.
makes
When he opened up his
yeah,
mouth, and
or
they all just
like I know it's not like real about to happen or nothing, but like
oh no, he really put those in his mouth though. Those bees.
oh
Was
no
in
no no
his,
yeah no I'm
yeah.
saying like in real
Okay,
life.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
people not just walking around with a mouth full of bees about to shoom 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 on your ass. Like that's not what
Yeah,
they're doing. But now I'm scared. I'm scared. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. So okay, same. My number one is Candyman, but I couldn't split between. So mine is Candyman 1 and the requel. I
Okay.
liked it. My biggest gripe is that I wish we could have seen more. Like that, there was this thing of like not showing Candyman for real, like just showing like a hook or something, little bits and pieces into the ending. But it was like
I think
that
it
was
was
my biggest
purposely.
complaint. If I saw more of Tony Todd or more of just someone being, then it would have been a perfect movie for me. But the two, like between the two, obviously the very first one is takes a fucking cake because it had people like I don't even know if that was a real urban legend or not, but it had people afraid to fucking say this shit. It had kids. I remember
Mm-hmm.
being a kid and being like, "Ooh, like everybody go in the bathroom, we turn off the light." Like you know what I'm saying? Like people were really doing this shit, and it became as big as Bloody Mary,
Mm-hmm.
if not
It
bigger.
is.
Shit.
Don't come saying
Yeah.
none of that. Nobody. Going on now.
Right. Oh, okay. So can I do my honorable mention then?
Yeah.
It was Get Out.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
like because I mean I don't. Get Out came out, and I always remember it when I first moved to Arizona.
Okay.
And that's like I've said it before. It's a culture shock when you come from somewhere that is like 95% black to like
Mm-hmm.
15%. And I just remember being here and just feeling weird half of the time. Like I've grown used to it, and I've it's more of us moving here, and I've been around more of us and stuff like that. But that when I first got here, it was like, are people watching me? Like, what is? I don't something. It's just weird. Like,
Like
and
this
then
is
that came out, and it just captured that eerie anxiety perfectly for me. And I was just like,
okay.
okay, yeah, this is yeah. Do you have an honorable mention?
I was trying to think. Do I?
Damn, I love he got another one, but I'm gonna shut up.
Not that I.
Now
Oh,
I'm just looking at black horror
Antebellum with
movies.
Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was good. She's a good
Yeah,
actress.
I
I
love.
like.
Yeah,
I liked that movie. Yeah.
there's rumors of her working with Marvel, possibly to play Storm, and I'm hoping that is.
That would be
I would
interesting.
fuck.
I'm not making
I
a face.
mean,
I'm thinking about it.
yeah,
Like, how would that?
it
Okay.
would be very interesting. I mean, I like her. I would prefer a darker skinned person, I guess. There was like conversations about that, but like, I love Janelle Monáe. She's a great actress, so I
Well,
think
I
she
don't
would do
know.
the character
Hallie ain't
justice.
that. Hallie ain't that dark.
Well,
She.
yeah, that was a big complaint at first too, because
Yeah.
Storm is dark skinned in the comics and cartoons, and they was like, "Oh, here, take this light skinned woman."
Yeah.
It
Come
was like,
on, light brown
oh.
woman.
And there's a lot of like beautiful dark skinned actresses that could do that. So I mean, if they find the right one, yeah, but I have no problem with Janelle Monáe doing it.
Okay.
Okay, that was good. That was fun. All right, now let's talk about this goddamn movie.
I can
The
smell your
fucking
nap. Look, first off, because
dog.
I knew
I
it
was
was
saying that shit
from
for like a
Lee.
week and a half.
Because so I'll preface my part of the so Lee Daniels, right? When I think of him, I think of Precious. I think of
Empire.
Empire. What's something else I watched with him? But when I think of his shows, I think of Slight Ratchets. If you're like, there's going to be something
Yeah.
said, something because think the things that were said in Precious shouldn't have been funny. You know what I'm saying? Like
Should not, and it's fucking hilarious.
Bitch, you
The
got
movie
your
is
degree in
hilarious.
everything. Like the movie is funny as fuck, and it shouldn't be. It should not be funny.
But I think that's just black trauma. I think that's just our
but
collective black trauma.
and I think that's him playing. So when I thought that before I ever even turned it on, and I hadn't really seen anybody talk too crazy about it outside of it being demonic. But as far as that, I didn't see anything, you know. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a Lee Daniels thing. Like I know it is.
Right.
Glenn Close. I don't know. Why was she in it? I love Glenn Close. I think she's a phenomenal actress, but why is she in it? The choice of,
I think it's even funnier that she chose to that she agreed. And even so much that he called, it's that she agreed.
Because she just crazy.
I mean, she
like I ain't really like her. I didn't really have no beef with her character or nothing. It just kind of like when I was watching it. Okay, from the start of it.
Excuse me.
The mom, the lady that plays the mom. What the hell? I don't even know her name. Shit, I don't know.
Andrea.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. And I know it's all based on true events from a real family and everything. Yeah. So I was like, cool. So I'm really down with it. Like, all right. But watching it, and she was a rough ass mama. Like out the gate.
Like shit.
Rough as hell.
Like, and it was so like I really like the acting in this. Because a lot of it was like just different for the characters themselves, like or for the people. Like this was different for Glenn Close. I believed it. Like I didn't think it was. It was just weird. It was just like, huh? Andra Day. She's like super fucking religious and shit. Like that's not. So for her to be this tough ass mama, it's like it was like,
fuck God,
oh shit,
not
you know what I'm
God,
saying?
But she was just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then Monique, I mean, even she's usually playing like she kind of stayed within the realm of herself, but at the same time, it was a little bit different.
Her character should have been bigger.
Yeah,
I felt like she should have had more screen time. I don't know. I feel like if you were going to introduce us to her for real, it should have been like a little more. I don't know. I just wanted more from her. Not her.
I can see that.
Like she did a bad job or nothing, but like put her on the fucking screen if you don't have her here. She's supposed to be checking on the kids and stuff. It should have been some wild shit. It should have been more wild shit happening when she had the little boy. Because why was he in the corner on the? How'd they get him down?
Crazy as hell. So right, real quick, somebody has said Lee Daniels is basically Tyler Perry, but he came out. I said, oh, okay. I can see that. But like I said, like, I mean, and real quick before we even get into it too,
work together, so it wouldn't be surprising.
Not at all. But before we get into it a little bit more too, the idea of it being demonic has been, I mean, at this point, I'm over it. Everything is demonic.
It's only when it involves Black people.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity blew up to the point they made several of them. The Nun is out. The Conjuring is out. You know what I'm saying? The whole Conjuring realm is out. All of these entity kind of movies do not get bashed like the Black shit does, and it's by our own people.
Yeah.
This isn't.
It's by us. Yeah, it's like us.
It's not even like just the Christians in general. It is the Black Christians. I'm not going to that in my house. No.
It is crazy because first off, it's. They are literally fighting the devil. They're literally trying to get the devil out. They're not like, oh yeah, put it in the kid, and the kid devil wins. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such a fucking weird thought. It's like, huh? And that's the other part that I actually like about it. And I think that's what people have, I guess, take issue with. But people don't pay attention. A lot of exorcist type films, when it comes to exorcism and stuff like that, it's more Catholicism based. It's
Mm-hmm.
never been like a Christian thing. So it's like there has to be, the priest, and he has to
Oh,
get
can't wait to talk about that one. I love her as an
permission
actress.
from, yeah. So it's like with this one, there was less of a religious aspect of the exorcism and more so your own relationship with God for the exorcism. And I'm like, she's literally speaking in tongues. Like, I don't, ain't that what the fuck y'all be doing? Like, I don't get what is wrong. I'm so lost. I am so, and I'm like, is my brain broken? Is it me? I know I got a little ADHD, but like,
ADHD.
like, what the fuck? But
Yeah, I don't
anyway,
know.
so yeah.
Don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you need to watch it or anything, but if you feel like this would invite demons, why are you even talking about it? Right? You send your
Like,
prayers to
girl,
protect you and move on. Why you writing a
that's
think
it.
piece on Facebook about it? We don't need to know.
And then the
Tell
crazy
your
part is
tell God.
I saw this one Facebook status or whatever. It was like, y'all talking about the deliverance being demonic and be watching Zeus every day.
The things
Y'all
we
don't think
do
y'all
take
them demons
in
in
that
y'all?
disrupt our spirits. Okay.
Like, y'all be watching the Auntie podcast? That shit ain't nothing but negative energy. Every time I've ever seen a clip, it's bitches yelling. And I'm like, this ain't for me. Like, but y'all keeping them going. And the bad girl, y'all bitches done fucked with bad girls so tough that they have different types. Bad girl Caribbean, bad girl fucking South Africa. Now, it's like, what kind of shit?
And
And y'all talking about this is demonic. Okay. Sure.
I'm gonna go watch the
um,
demonic movie though.
right.
Like,
I
I'm
personally
gonna watch
enjoyed
it.
it. And if I feel anything has, I don't know, transpired from watching it, I'm gonna light my sage and I'm gonna pray. And that's it. Call it a day. Like, so okay, so we can kind of go ahead into it. So yeah, we kind of like pretty much immediately introduced to the mama, and she's just like tough as shit.
Yeah, I
And
don't even
Glenn
remember what.
Close.
Yeah, I don't really remember the beginning of the movie, like how we were introduced to him, like what was happening. But I
Yeah.
know she was like just real aggressive with her children,
Yeah.
and
They
I'm
were
like,
moving
what the?
into they're moving into their new house.
Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
that. Yeah. And
Oh,
they
that's
were
what
doing
she like.
that.
They're like painting. That's what they were in the house
Yep.
already moving
Yep.
in, and the little boy was upstairs in his bedroom painting his walls. She was downstairs doing something. So he had called her
Mhm.
upstairs to look at the painting he doing because kids. So she like come help me with dinner. So they go downstairs and whatever it goes, and then you meet the other bigger kids. Which shout out to Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I don't know what that boy's name is, but love
It's
to
like
see him in
Caleb
anything.
something.
I don't know
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
people's names. Do not know people's names. Like, oh, I see him in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like his career trajectory. I think he's gonna do
Yeah,
really good.
he's
But
gonna do really really well. But that's the family, right? So it's
yeah,
the little boy, him, the older boy, and then the daughter, and then the mom and the grandma, which is
and the
Glenn
grandma,
Close.
which is Glenn Close, with these fucking
Ooh,
curls
the
and
wigs
like
and the barely there. First off, I thought her hair was bald at first, like her head was bald. But
yeah,
when they had gave it another angle, you could see that the random little hair still attached. Like, why couldn't she just be bald though, bro? It just
I guess. Well, so
it
okay,
made me want to
so I
laugh.
think that was the idea because I think she did have cancer.
Yeah, she was going through some type of something.
Yeah, yeah, and
Um,
then
Omar
because like
Epps.
pretty much they just said, "Hey, what you doing? You want to play Glenn Close, man? Okay, cool. Cause what? So yeah, I mean,
I'm
cause
telling
yeah,
you,
this is the beginning.
the
Like it was just random little events happening, and one of them was Glenn Close character going to get her treatment and shit,
mm-hmm.
and flirting hard as fuck with Omar Epps as a
Like
fucking.
had
He's
her
like the
shirt
nurse,
little unzipped and shit. And
like
it's two
flirting
black
hard.
women being older black women being nosy because it really wasn't their business. Whatever she had going on over there wasn't your business. And
You're
that's
like,
why she was like, y'all
girl, what is she doing?
looking at tomorrow, she needs to stop. Got her shirt all unbuttoned. And
Don't worry about me.
she said,
Don't worry about
we
me.
got a problem, bitch.
Glenn Close is so funny in this movie. Um,
Like it wasn't meant to be funny, but she herself, like her reaction, like it was dead ass, like bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The other part that happened too, because this was like again a little random shit happened in the beginning. I guess when the kids was walking to school, and the niggas
oh,
on the
they were
porch was
walking.
fucking with their one
They were walking
son.
home. They were walking home from
There we go.
school.
Yeah, walking home.
The sister kind of annoyed me because if he got off that porch and slapped the dog shit out of you or something, you wouldn't have had
Cause you
all
gonna
that
stop
mouth.
and stand there and shit, bitch. Keep walking. Let's go.
If they already fucking with your brother and throwing shit at him, what do you think they about to do to you? So, but they go home after she tell him to shut up, like whatever. She walks back home. And this the part that threw me when you know, she go in there, she like, what's wrong with him? She like, why he bleeding? She like, the boys around the corner. So she go. Mama on a mission, period. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. Whoop that little nigga ass. She whooped that little, picked him up, whooped his ass, put him back on the ground,
Said,
and told the
bitch,
other
if you
one,
touch my son again and get your mama.
I whooped that hoe too.
I was like, oh shit. Like
So in
that was real though.
In that thought, I'm thinking maybe she's just kind of aggressive, but she's still like a loving mom until immediately the next scene. Like the way she was talking to her daughter and shit. And I'm just like, no. But why was the daughter smoking a cigarette?
Yeah. And then she found the liquor bottle and she was mad as hell. And she asked, did any of y'all have this? And the kids was like, no. And then going close to grandma, she like, did you have a drink? And she was like, bitch, I've knocked. That's what was killing me too, how they were talking to each other. She was like, bitch, I've knocked out people's teeth for less. And she's like, well, come do it, bitch. Come do it then, bitch.
It's so prevalent in a lot of mother-daughter relationships or just family dynamics, I'll say. To talk to each other rough like that. Like that's one of those generational curses that are just passed down, because if mama, grandma, and them talking to each other like that, I can talk to you like that. Like I never call my brother out his name. He had never called me no, you know, crazy. We don't talk to each other like no. I wasn't. I wasn't brought up around that, so that seems so alien to me to do.
Yeah, I saw that.
Threaten my mama, knock her teeth out.
I wish, like, what?
As soon as I even try to get a threat off, I might be dead. I might be in the upper room, baby, with freedom. Nah.
By the time I'm done, it's gonna be like, where these clouds come from? The fuck?
I was just about to make a move.
Man,
so that's what made me think. Like I said, he and Tyler Perry do have that in common, where they use a lot of negative stereotypes that unfortunately does plague our community.
Yeah, they like to play into Black trauma.
Yeah, so it's like y'all could make better shit. You don't have to put our shit on the screen. Not like not in the ways y'all do anyway.
We're already hurt. You don't have to keep hurting us.
Because it all feels like a big joke at the end of the day for a lot of the times. But that's another story for another day. But after she come back from whooping the ass, and like you said, they have dinner and everything. The daughter not really eating. She like, go ahead and eat your food. And I'm just like, girl, calm down. Like,
yeah, bitch, leave me alone.
So you know the grandma. Oh, the little boy was asking for more milk, and he called her cheap, and then so she popped him, but she popped him so fucking hard she busted his lip. I said, "Oh, this bitch is
She did it
abusive.
real quick. Yeah,
you're not even aggressive. You're abusive. Like, and more than just verbally, you're physically abusive too." So I'm like, shit. Okay.
That's
like
happening.
just like. Yeah, like I was just like, what am I watching? Because at that point, I'm like, I'm about to turn this off because I can't stand to see people treat their kids bad. Like, they didn't ask to be here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and then you got 3 of them, and then you find out that they're, I guess maybe her and her ex-husband, because I think they might have been married, maybe. But anyways, he's in like Iraq or something. Yeah, I think whatever.
Yeah,
they're apart. They're not together. And he's somewhere in like Iraq or something. He's in the army. So,
at this point, we find out that like they're under CPS like watch, basically.
Oh yeah.
Because that's when we meet Monique, and she comes the next day.
Not
and
even yet. Not yet. That's when because while they're in the new house, it was like them flies and the smell coming from the cellar outside and the door that led to the basement. Remember, she called like pest control or something. So that's when we see Monique, because we see nope, rewind it. She comes home drunk the night before this happens, and the older son comes downstairs and he's like, "Where's my fucking money that she took when she found the bottle earlier?"
Oh no. That was a little bit after. That one was a little bit after, I think. With the money clip.
It was before. That happened before the pest control guy showed up, because I was trying to figure out where he got more money from.
Oh, because he paid for it. Yeah, you're right. He paid for it.
But I think she must have gave him his money back. But she took the bottle and the money. He was like, "I took the bottle so you couldn't have it." You know what I'm saying? But they had got in that little squabble in the kitchen, because she like, "Where you get the money from? All drunk and shit. Like, where you get the money from?" And he like, "Dad, I want to get away from you, bitch." And she like,
"But that's it.
Oh, that's how it is." You know, like, she got defensive as if she's creating this warm, loving life for her children. Like,
the bitch.
When they telling her, like, we tired of being broke, she like, and bitch, me too. Like, bitch, you're their mother. Like, what? When I'm telling you, I'm watching this with so many thoughts going through my head about this woman as a mother. Like, where is the father? He need to come home now. Get these kids. Get these kids. Because when they got into the fight, that's when the little boy trips over like a cord or something, and the TV fault, which was completely an accident. That
shit was crazy as fuck.
A freak ass accident. And so the little tiny TV fell on him, fucked his arm, and maybe like probably his rib cage or something, because he's a small kid. So then the next morning, the pest control dude comes. She like, get the money from the landlord. He like, money now. You give me my money now, sis.
You gotta pay me now.
I'm gonna throw this bitch back downstairs.
Literally.
he put shows I'm gonna put it back.
And the brother was like, "Okay, I got it. I got the money, so I'll give it to him."
Yep. So he goes upstairs, and then he looks out the window. He sees the car pulls up, and then we see Monique. I thought since he saw her, he would come down and warn his mom, but he didn't say shit.
He said shit. A word.
He didn't say a word. So they doing a CPS visit or whatever, and it's a CPS visit. You know what I'm saying? She asking the kids shit. They looking at the mom, not saying shit because
they got random ass bruises and marks and shit, and it's like,
I don't know where they came from. They don't know where they came from. He went to the playground. Like, how you just can't take the kids off that? I don't know.
That sounds crazy.
Because what if she was really like beating the fuck out of these kids, and you just like, you see the bruises, but because the kids not saying, nah, I didn't like that. I'm like, is this the system? Is this why all these kids are getting killed and shit? Like, that made me so sad. It made me so sad.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But she leaves and told her like, I'm gonna be back, blah blah blah. But at this point, the little boy starts to get like disturbed. That's the first time we see him. I don't even know when the little thing happened to the little boy anyway.
Yeah, well, so there was little parts he was talking to himself up to leading before this part. And then this is the night, I believe, he went in the fridge and just drank that whole fucking milk.
Yeah, at that point, I knew he was possessed. He was already possessed at that point. But I was trying to figure out at what point before then, because he had like woke up.
No idea.
I'm like, I said, I'm not gonna rewatch it. I'm not, but I'll go rewatch the beginning to see where that part. I missed it when I watched it the first time. But I thought that it was a little. I figured maybe when he went in the basement that night he woke up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It probably was that night he went into the basement, and it was the door was open when she came down with the bat and shit, because he had went down there, but she didn't see him, and then yeah, it had to happen then. But we don't know what happened in the basement. I don't think we ever saw what happened in the basement. But why isn't here? Oh God.
So after this part, this is the next day they go to school and shit, and all three of them go through some like crazy shit.
It was shit. Like he literally took a shit in class and threw that shit at the teacher.
And threw it at the teacher. I'm like. And then the girl, they like inquire, and like, was it her period? Yeah,
almost like
she just like standing there, bleeding. Yeah, Crazy
And
as
then
hell. She
the
said some
oldest
shit to
brother, yeah, she
the
goes up.
choir
It's a whisper,
director.
but we don't know what he says. Yeah,
Yeah.
what she says. And then the brother, he's in class and they're in a lesson, and she's
She's
asking a
bust out laughing
question
and shit.
and started laughing. And it wasn't a
Man,
funny
it's
thing.
going
Like nothing
crazy.
was funny because the teacher was seriously
No.
talking about some real shit. And he's like cracking up, and then he falls out onto the ground and shit. And I'm like, yo, what's happening?
What the fuck is
What
going
are
on?
they?
Yeah.
Because at that point, I'm like, are they all possessed? Like, is it the little boy and he brought the vibes to school, so it's just fucking with them? Like, I was at that point, that was what I was trying to figure out. So they, of course, go all take them to the hospital, and they're like,
and they can't find shit wrong with none of them. Like,
now this is where
I mean, psychologically, nothing's wrong.
So this is where I agree with
Excuse
her. You just seen what my kids did. That's not normal. That's not the way they behave. And for Glenn Close, I think she wasn't trying to pacify the white lady. I think she knew you be abusing these kids and you leave these marks on these kids. You already got a CPS case. If you make a fuss up in here, it's a quick call for them.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's exactly what she threatened them with. She was like, well, with the test we run, there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? We can't tell you nothing about your kids.
Because I mean, but do you want to? She kept yelling at the lady. She said, "Well, do you want to talk about the marks,
the bruises on your kids? We can talk about that." And so she's still fussing at her mama when they go outside in the parking lot and stuff. And she's talking about, "You'll never have my back." I'm like, she actually had your back the most right there. You didn't have your own back. And then this is where I get why she's so fucking angry. You are still mad at your mother for the way she abandoned you, half sort of kind of not raised you shit. This is why you're the way you are with your children. You need therapy, bitch.
That's exactly
you
it.
You need to get it. I immediately knew it from there when she was telling her, like, she said something about abusing your kids, and she was like, you should know. Something like that.
She like, you used to do it. Or some shit, yeah.
Because even earlier in the movie, she said, "Oh, you found God now. You act like all shit is, like your shit sweet now because you found God now. You in the church now."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what the fuck did you do to this girl in her past? In the past before you got saved, and that is, I think another point to the show. I mean, to the movie, that some of the people that go get saved act like nothing they did matters anymore. Like it didn't affect people in one way or another.
Let's not forget.
And it's like, and then when you bring it up, it's almost dismissive. You know what I'm saying? They're dismissive to how they treated you. Because I'm sanctified, I'm holy, I'm good now. I don't want to talk about that. Just because you get saved and you right with the Lord, don't absolve your past with people. That helps you with him upstairs. And that's it. Not me here. Because I'm gonna want to whoop your ass depending on what you did to me, or I'm gonna have some words depending on what you did to me. So no, you still have to be accountable for your actions. And I felt like the mom probably never was. I feel like she probably never went down. They probably never had any kind of conversation to come to anything about it. I feel like that was why they. Like a love-hate relationship. Like, I love you, you my mama. We done been through some shit, but we've been through some shit, so I kind of fucking hate you. Because when she was when she was done flirting with Omar Epps, Glenn Close, she, the lady at the reception desk like, "Hey, let me talk to you, miss." She's like, "Your last 2 payments." She said, "Oh, I'll just call an insurance company." She's like, "We haven't taken your insurance in over a year," and she's like, "Come again? What you mean?"
She not been paying for it.
She like, "I thought she would have told you that she's been paying," and she just knew immediately that it was her daughter. So the next scene is her at the house and her daughter walking in, and she asks, like, "So you've been paying for him?" And it was like a real somber thing, almost like, I wasn't a good mom to her, kind of reflective almost. Because right after that, Monique pops back up. She pops back up because of the school visit, the shit that happened at the school, and I assume that the doctors did in fact call CPS. That's my thought. So she pops back up, and at this point, the kids, the little boys, going nuts. Like, oh no, that's what happened. The birthday party was before that. The birthday party for the daughter. She gave her her new phone. It was all fun. All the kids were good. You know what I'm saying? We're having a good time. And then she like, all right, kids, it's time for y'all to go to sleep. And she started getting fucked up. I'm like, that's sloppy drunk. Even in your own house, that's sloppy drunk. So I'm like, you see me throwing it back on him?
Yeah, it was a lot.
What are you doing?
It was like towards the end of the night, nobody was there no more, and there was like a bang in the room or some shit. And she went to go check, and it was our Glenn Close went to go check rather, because I think the mom, she was telling them time to go to bed, and they wouldn't sleep because she heard a noise up there, so she went up there and went in their room. And while Glenn Close was downstairs saying bye to Omar Epps, she heard a big ass boom or something. She went up there, and the kids is like laying in the corners, like terrified.
But before that happens, the little boy comes back downstairs, right? When she's like, "Where everybody at? I thought this was supposed to be a party." He's like standing by the stairwell, facing the
go back, wall, like go back to bed. Yeah.
So, like you said, that's when she tells him go to bed. She walks him upstairs to the bed, and that's when she starts to hear the banging. So she thinks it's coming from inside there. She go into the room, and then the door is closed, and then you hear banging again, like a real, some furniture moving, banging. And so that's when Glenn Close comes in, and she's asking the kids what happened. And the kids like, she threw us against the wall, and she's like, I ain't doing no such thing, which is crazy because she looked like she got thrown into the wall.
Yeah,
like the way her hair was, the little pieces in it looked like she got thrown into the wall. So I'm like, what did happen?
So now she's like, you get to stay away from these kids. You got to stay away. Yeah,
she like, you got to get the fuck on, bitch. Basically, like, because you doing too much. And at that point, the grandma goes to church. Glenn Close goes to her church, and she talks to Tasha Marcus. It's all I kept hearing when I see her every single time.
Every time I see her, yeah.
She's talking to her pastor or whatever, and she's like, "So I don't."
She's like, "Oh, I don't do stuff like that." Straight up, like, "Oh, we don't do stuff like that here."
Yeah, we don't do that. So when she goes back home after that, she's talking to. She puts the cross up, and like, when they come back home, the cross is like on fire or something randomly as hell. I'm like, that's scary. Okay. And you ain't never gonna get out of the house. Don't like no fucking cross on fire for me. I'm out. I ain't never coming back. Peace out.
Right. But and because this is the part where the grandma like dies, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot how.
She got thrown around. I want to say the little boy killed.
Yeah, he tossed her ass around. Yeah. Yeah, so he kills her, and then now it's like, okay, this happened.
Oh, you know
what CPS comes to take them.
We're missing the whole ass lady that's been stalking him.
Yeah,
we've been missing her for a nice amount of time now, and I can't think of her name, but she's an amazing actress.
Aunjanue Ellis. Love her.
Is like the first time we see her is like when Monique pulls off the first time. We see her sitting outside the house, and they both look like thinking that she's with Monique. So then the next time they see her, she's like following them like down the street, like in a car. Okay, so now they like, what the fuck? So the third time they see her, the grandma came out with the bat, like, bitch, if you with her, she's swinging the bat. You come around here again? Fuck on, you not taking our kids, like you not taking our babies, like go on the fuck on type shit.
Yeah.
So after the mama died, or while the mother
take the kids
killed, they come take the kids. Well, no, they don't even come take the kids yet. She is where does Andrea go? She went wherever her name is. She went somewhere, and that was when the stalker.
She went to talk to the lady. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't think we know where she was going, but she did run into her, and it was at like a diner or some shit.
Yeah, they end up going to a diner, and she was telling her.
She told her like why she's been following her. Yeah.
Yeah, like the family that lived there before them, for whenever the fuck that had happened. On some exorcist shit, like she likes it's a demon in the house. It's gonna take over the whole family.
It's got your kids.
It's got your kids. It wants your baby. Like it wants your baby. And then she was telling
them, like, fuck that. That's crazy, bitch. Yeah. She's like, of course, the standard response of like, no, bitch. That's crazy. I don't believe in that.
Why is that the response when you see the crazy shit happening in your home? right now.
When there's no
Right
scientific explanation, like doctors couldn't tell you anything.
now.
I would be like, oh
So,
shit, yeah, you're right. This has to be what's
so
going on.
at the time of all of that is taking place, the grandma is at the house and she's getting her ass whooped by the little
Yeah.
boy, the demon, basically. He whooping her ass. And he kills her. So when she comes home, that's when she finds out mom's dead and she's hysterical and shit. And now she's like, I gotta figure something out. So, like you said, they take the kids at that point. They take the little boy, they take him to the hospital.
He goes to a psych ward. The other two kids, they put them in like, like group homes and shit.
Yeah, this
But
part
they
made
take
me
him to a
chuckle
psych ward.
because they
When
like,
Monique was in the room with him.
yeah. She said when she was talking to the doctor at that, she like, first off, the little nigga was tied down. And then he started walking up a motherfucking wall. I'm telling you,
I saw him
niggas,
walk up a wall. I need
something's
y'all to
wrong.
listen.
And it was like
I
nobody
just
would
watched.
listen.
Yeah.
Nobody in the medical world would listen to any of these black women. And I feel like that was another point to real life for black women that
I can
we
see
aren't
that.
listened to like that. And it's always like, well, maybe if you lose a little weight, maybe if you do this, I'm like, and then you go to these other doctors and you find out, no, you're really sick. You weren't going crazy. These other people just didn't give a fuck enough to do their job. Or they think you're a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real fucked up. It's just being black and then being woman in black in health. You know what I'm saying? Because I assume being a man and I don't know about being a man. I'm a girl. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I mean, it probably is like slightly easier just for the man part, but because black man, probably not so much more.
Yeah, like it has its hindrances, unfortunately, it biases and things like that in the medical field. So that's what kind of like annoyed me with that too. Like, damn, so nobody gonna listen. And she ain't even the mama. She a CPS worker. Why are you not listening to her? Also, go see it for yourself. And everybody in the whole fucking that whole floor said, I ain't going back in that room. I'm not going back in that room. So what made me wonder,
okay, that's cool.
Is the demon's job like he only wants to kill the people that live in the house? So is that why he didn't really attack anybody at the
makes sense
the
family of like
the hospital?
Yeah,
I was just wondering. Makes sense. Like that made me think because he didn't do most of the time. You go to a psych ward, somebody gonna die.
You know, well, usually like entities like that like to prey on families and people that are already having problems. So it's like their families having problems. That's what they said. This is delicious. Yeah. This is what I want to eat. Like, but yeah. So she sees that, and at this point, the I guess pastor lady that the mom was talking to was like, okay, we gotta
do this. You gotta go get.
We have to give him a deliverance, not an exorcism, a deliverance. And so she's like, okay, let's go get your son. So they fucking kidnap him from the psych ward for the deliverance, and they go back to the house. And this is where it gets a little interesting.
It gets hilarious.
Yeah. Obviously it's just like any type of exorcism, they always let you know, don't believe what they say, don't believe what you see, none of that, because it's going to try and trick you and stuff. And so, with that in mind, it turns into Glenn Close. And you know how I am. When there's like a new line or something, I'm saying it for like a week. Like I just
I already know.
So I was saying this for a week straight. She turns and says, "I can smell your nappy pussy." and I'm like, why? Like, why did it have to be nappy?
Because it felt racist.
So yes.
That
this spirit or this demon or whatever the fuck is like just fucking with this preacher lady at this point, reminding her of like the fact that she couldn't get her the last time or get it the last time and all
First
that.
Off, that it's mocking you, bitch. You were already telling this woman how you felt like you failed your friend and their family because you didn't believe in yourself for real, and then you turned around and did it again. And got yourself killed for your fucking luck this time. Because he was
Right.
like, Glenn Close just started laughing like, girl, that holy water ain't doing shit.
Like literally, like bitch, it don't work because you don't believe.
You don't
And
believe
like
it.
at the same time as they try to do this, the other kids, you know, they're in their spots and shit start happening to them.
Uh-huh.
And so now it's just the mom and the little possessed boy. Like she gotta, you know, find a way to give him a deliverance.
Much
And
you can do it. She gave her
yeah,
the water and everything because she, your dying breath, you gotta give instructions.
yeah.
And to like really believe in herself because she like, you see me, I did. I'm dying. Like die then.
Yeah.
Just die. Die.
But like the demon is beating the shit out of her. I mean, Jesus. Like she's fucking her up. And then the mom, like before she's damn near killed, like I guess just gets possessed almost. Like but by like God or however the Holy
It's
Spirit,
almost
whatever
like
you
you
want to
have like,
say.
yeah, I was gonna say like I think it was almost like she was having like an epiphany about some shit her and her mom had talked about
Yeah.
or something like that. And then that just got her to praying. She just started
Yeah.
fucking
So she was
praying.
regular praying at first, and then before you knew it, she was speaking in tongues.
Yeah, like you said, it seemed like she got possessed, and then she just literally started speaking in tongues and I'm like, okay, this is powerful. Okay, Lee, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then she get her family back.
Yep.
They
Because she
all
kills the
stop being
demon while
possessed.
speaking in tongues and shit.
Yep. They all okay, and she like, me and your daddy getting back together. We're gonna try to make it work. Cause what the fuck was that?
Yeah. That was a fucking lot.
Was
But
that?
it was she was speaking tongues for real too. Like she actually does that. Well, that's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they had a preacher on set, I guess, too, for like just protection, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that's the deliverance. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It's not like, oh shit, movie of the year. No.
It is exactly what I thought it was going to be. I didn't have like it's Lee Daniels. We know the kind of work he does, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like he M. Night Shyamalan. He even put some doozers out there and then some uppers, and then you gotta figure out what you about to get. I feel like Lee Daniels is very consistent on the kind of content he brings.
Yeah, I can see
him,
that.
Tyler Perry, they got that kind of niche that they're in, and that's Now, what we'll get out of that, like the nappy pussy line, like
that shit had me like Jesus. For a week, I couldn't stop. Okay, let's go ahead and rate this mug. I'm honestly feeling 1 out of 5 so far, but let's like actually run through.
Okay.
Watchability. I think it was watchable. Like I didn't get bored.
Watch it. It's not something I'm gonna watch a whole lot, but I can see me rewatching it on some silly shit just to see Glenn Close.
Just to put some shit on or something, yeah.
Yeah. This is not. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So yeah.
Yeah. Nothing for kill count because I mean nobody really dies.
No, nobody but Glenn Close.
Nothing but gore, right? Nothing for gore because it wasn't gory.
No.
I guess 1 for killer fear factor. I mean, anytime it's like something possession wise, demons are the idea of it is actually scary. So I guess I'll give it that. Nothing for cinematography because it wasn't like a visual kind of. It's like, okay. All right. 2 out of 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Real quick, and I keep forgetting to ask if you have one, but before we close up, I wanted to do a kill of the week. And the one I wanted to do is from the movie.
Hold on, because it's like
See No Evil.
Your audio is like choppy, almost like.
Shit! Of course. Of course, at the end of it. Okay, let's go ahead and end it right there. Then. Jesus. I appreciate you for doing this for me, love. As always, I will hit you up this week for our next week.
Alrighty, see you guys next time.
Hey, love you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.